Hello, Audioholics. This is Logan, and welcome back to Rolling Drones, the show where we drone on about things that roll, like Limp Bizkit, for example, only completely different. This is a continuation of the top 100 metal albums of all time, and I'm hoping that Limp Bizkit is not on this list. But to help me do this, as always, is Tyler. The only thing worse than
Hello.
he is the only thing worse than Limp Bizkit. So
Hello.
number 99, we have Evanescence, Fallen. What are your opinions on this album?
Um, I think that this album is definitely an album that deserves praise to some extent, but it doesn't belong on this list. I mean, it's nothing short of good. I would at least give it a C tier, and I think that is where I'm gonna put it. I think it deserves at least a 7. I could maybe see it being lower than that, but I don't really care enough about it to put it lower, and I also don't really think it deserves being any higher. So seven's probably fair. No, wait, you know what? I'm taking that back. Put it in D just because I wouldn't listen to it again, and I always say that 7 is I would listen to it again. Right?
Nine. Well, a C is a 7, though. That's how
Yeah,
we
I know,
decided.
but I wouldn't
10,
listen
9,
to it
8,
again. So I
7.
am gonna put it less than a 7.
Okay.
That's yeah. I've just decided that on the spot.
Okay.
Because like the problem with this album is that although it's not bad, it's just so generic and unmemorable. Like the guitar is just there, it's serviceable, it's not bad, but it's not doing anything good or unique or interesting or pleasing to the ears. The bass, did you even hear the bass on this fucking record? Because
Yeah.
I didn't. I don't even know what the hell the bass was doing. I'm assuming it was just following the guitar. The drumming was boring, and you could have just programmed it. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if it was just programmed.
It probably was, yeah.
The only standout performance on this album, and the only reason you would ever come to it, is Amy Lee, the singer. And although Amy Lee is a good singer and her voice is great, the songwriting on this album is not great, and a lot of the melodies don't hit.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that there aren't really good songs. My Immortal, Everybody's Fool. What's the first track? Going Under? That song
Yeah.
was huge for a good reason. Haunted. Haunted's a classic. But you got to understand that the rest of the album is not anywhere near that standard. In fact, I would say it's actively way, 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 way worse. So this is a very rocky album. I think it has like some decently high highs, but the lows go really low, and there are way more lows than there are highs, especially in the second half. I think the album really drops out in the second half. It was around, what's the track list? Is Haunted the last song on the first side?
I was this released on a record? I don't even know.
Probably. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, point is, like, after Haunted, around that time in the album, it just drones on, and the songs don't work anymore, and they're not I mean, they were never really interesting, but they're even less interesting from that point on. I mean, I listened to this album twice, and I can't remember anything from then on. Literally nothing. And I tried. I really did. It just went one ear and out the other because it's just so forgettable. I am not a fan of this album at all. I don't really have anything else to say about it except that it most certainly does not belong on this list. And frankly, I'm insulted that you gypped how many other symphonic bands for this. Come
Yeah,
on, you could have put Delane, you could have put Epica. Nightwish is on the list later, so fine, but Evanescence was least deserving of this spot. Now, the essential tracks, I already kind of touched on those, but the ones that I'm going to choose as my official essential tracks that you should listen to are Everybody's Fool, My Immortal, and Haunted. And as for the weakest track on the album, what was it called? Help, I think.
hello.
Hello, that song was just so boring, and it's like it was trying to be My Immortal, but it failed miserably, and it was just really bad. All right, take it away, Führer.
All right, so I'm essentially going to be a little bit nicer and a little bit meaner than Tyler on this album. I'm still giving it a D, but I think that there is definitely merit in this album. It definitely does not deserve to be on this list. I will agree with him there. But I I mean, I grew up with Evanescence as a kid, and I mean, like, is it possible not to? I'm 21 years old, so is he. You could not go 30 seconds without listening to Bring Me Back to Life, for better or for worse. And I've never actually listened to a full Evanescence album. That being said, I probably didn't need to do so to form my opinion on the album as a whole, at least this one anyway. They just are not my thing. But that being said, there is positive attributes I can say to this album, such as the amazing vocals, Amy Lee, and also I think the guitar is pretty good as well, especially in like Everybody's Fool. I think it's pretty good. Um, Most of the instruments are just really generic. The lyrics, I just like the lyrics and the lyrical themes. I either just don't care about or absolutely despise. This is an emo album through and through, and it's not My Chemical Romance emo. It is Linkin Park, like Simple Plan, bottom of the barrel, bargain bin at Walmart emo. It is not very good. Overall, it might just be my bias of this type of genre, but I really did not like this album. That being said, there are some good songs on it that you should definitely check out on their own. There are good songs on this album. Don't listen to the album. Listen to the songs that we say are good, because our opinion is God and you should accept it as faith at face value. So, my essential tracks, My Immortal, I mean, it genuinely is a really good song. You can say, like, oh, the re recorded version with the more kind of orchestral sound to it, and also just kind of better vocals in general. You could say that's better, and I would be inclined to agree objectively, but this version on the album isn't bad either. The other two essential tracks are Hello and My Last Breath. Now, I know he said that this is probably the weakest track on the album, and I will agree that it is a weaker version of My Immortal that just isn't as good. That being said, it still sounds like My Immortal, so therefore it's one of the stronger tracks by default. I mean, like, I put My Immortal on the list. I would be a hypocrite not to put Hello on this list. And then My Last Breath is actually pretty good. Pretty good, like, sort of almost industrial sounding song. Um, like, industrial with the sort of classic symphonic element of this band. Now, weakest track, I would totally get shit for this if I had a view base, but Bring Me to Life. I hate this song. Look, take the whole meme aspect of this song out of it. It's not very good. And also, I just really fucking hate Linkin Park. So the fact that the one dude from Linkin Park is on is on that song just brings it down for me. Brings me to death, you could say. But it's not very good. I don't like the lyrics. I hate the same bullshit. But yeah, so do you have anything to add?
Nope, I'm good. Did not enjoy the record. Would not come back to it. Does not belong on the list. That's the too long didn't watch version, and I'm sticking it at the bottom of the fucking video because fuck you, that's why.
Yes. So that's all I have to say about that as well. Join us next time when we check out monoliths and dimensions by Sun O, right bracket, right bracket, right bracket. Actually, no, that's a parenthesis. Fuck.
It's just Suno.
Whatever. Anyway, fuck this album. No, I can't say that. It's not that bad. But still, I
All
think
right.
this album is very mediocre, and I would not listen to it again, my good sir.